Housemaid's Secret. Now, The Housemaid is the first book. I have the first book. I'm also an avid reader of Freida McFadden. I love her books. And she made The Handmaid, so I read The Handmaid. And then she came out with The Handmaid's Secret. And then she has a third, I think it's the third or fourth book. But I told myself I would never, ever read sequels or trilogies because it always feels like it's a continuing story. It's always continuing. Something is always happening. Something is always going on. But I love the story. My book journey started when I read Room for Rent. I think it's also by Freida McFadden. And no, it's by Noelle Eiley. And she, I think that's her name, Noelle Eiley. And she is an avid writer. She's someone I also read, sorry. And she is a lovely, lovely storyteller. She also wrote Run on Red. And I have a lot of authors. I have some authors that I have double books for because I love their writing and I love the way they choreograph the story. I also enjoy crazy plots. So if you guys have any recommendations for me, please put them in the comments below. And I will read the first chapter or prologue of one of my favorite books, honestly, by Freida McFadden. We're gonna read the back part first. Don't go into the guest room. Best bedroom. A shadow falls on Douglas Garrick's face as he touches the door with his fingertips. My wife. She's very ill. As he continues showing me their incredible penthouse apartment, I have a terrible feeling about the woman behind closed doors. But I can't risk losing this job, not if I want to keep my darkest secrets safe. It's hard to find an employer who doesn't ask too many questions about my past, so I thank my lucky stars that the Garricks miraculously gave me a job, cleaning their stunning penthouse with views across the city and preparing fancy meals in their shiny kitchen. I can work here for a while, stay quiet until I get what I want. It's almost perfect, but I still haven't met Mrs. Garrick or seen inside the guest bedroom. I'm sure I hear her crying. I notice spots of blood around the neck of her white nightgowns when I'm doing laundry. Once the cabin goes dark again, I grope blindly in front of me, moving away from the comfort of the sofa. The storm is bad, but not bad enough to cut off the electricity. No, somebody else is responsible for that. Somebody who has already taken one life tonight and expects that I will be the next. It all started with a simple cleaning job, and now it might end with my blood being mopped off the cabin floor. I wait for another flash of lightning to show me the way. When I move carefully in the direction of the kitchen, I don't have a plan in mind, but the kitchen contains potential weapons. There's an entire block of knives in there. Short of that, even a fork might come in handy. With my bare hands, I'm a goner. With a knife, my chances might be slightly better. The kitchen contains large picture windows that bring in a bit more light than in the rest of the cabin. My pupils dilate, straining to absorb as much as possible. I stumble toward the kitchen counter, but after taking 3 steps on the linoleum, my feet slide out from under me and I fall hard on the floor, cracking my elbow bad enough to bring tears to my eyes. Although, to be fair, there were already tears in my eyes. As I attempt to scramble back to my feet, I realize that the kitchen floor is wet. Lightning flashes again, and I look around, and I look down at my palms. They are stained crimson. I didn't slip on a puddle of water or some spilled milk. I slipped on blood. I sit